What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday. Time for another weekly What the Fuck. This week it goes to the American Lung Association. Um, and the statement I'm about to read is the official American Lung Association statement on e-cigarettes. The American Lung Association the American Lung Association is very concerned about the potential safety and health consequences of electronic cigarettes, as well as the claims that they can be used to help smokers quit. There's no government oversight of these products, and the absent Food and Drug Administration oversight, um, there's no way for the public health, medical community, or consumers to know what chemicals are contained in electronic cigarettes or what the short and long term health implications might be. That is why the American Lung Association has called on the Obama administration to halt its delay and for the FDA to propose meaningful regulation of these uh, products to protect public health. Okay, that's the first paragraph of it. So let's go ahead and dissect this a bit. The American Lung Association is very concerned about potential health and safety consequences of electronic cigarettes. Okay. As well as the claims that they can be used to help smokers quit. Well, actually, due to legislation, we're not allowed to say they help smokers quit. Why are you worried about the claims, though? You're the American Lung Association. Wouldn't anything that help people quit be better than nothing at all? Just saying. There's no government oversight of these products and absent Food and Drug Administration oversight. Actually, there is government oversight. There's been a lot of legislation about it. Last I checked, though, the government wasn't the scientists. Government wasn't doctors. As I covered in last week's weekly What the Fuck, government doesn't care about your health, they care about dollar signs. So, sure, the FDA, who's controlled by Big Pharma, wonder why you're concerned about them. Maybe it's because you get money from pharma too? There's no way for the public health, medical community, or consumers to know what chemicals are contained in electronic cigarettes or what the short and long term health implications may be. Well, I gotta disagree with you there, okay? There's no way for medical community. Yes, there is. They can run tests on it. They have run tests on it. We know what's in electronic cigarettes. We really do. It's propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, food flavoring, and nicotine. Okay, so we do know what's in them. I'm sure the medical community can. I'm a consumer. I know what's in them. And the short-term health effects have been vastly measured and shown very favorable. Long-term, it's a new industry. It hasn't had time for long-term yet, but through all indications, we know propylene glycol, when it's put into air, it was used in hospitals for years. We know the effect of that. We know what fog machines do. The only thing we honestly don't know the long-term health effects of is inhaled food flavoring. Okay. So That's that line there for you. That's why the American Lung Association has called on the Obama administration to halt its delay. Obama's not delaying anything. Uh, Maybe I should ask Obama for, to stop halting my paycheck from my employer. Will it? No. Two different things. Obama doesn't control it. He's not the be all end all. Sorry. Um, to halt this delay and for the FDA to propose meaningful regulation of these products to protect the public health. Okay, let's assume there's something bad in e-cigs. Okay, so let's assume there is. All the research up to this point hasn't led to that conclusion, but let's assume there is, just to play devil's advocate. How would putting regulations on it remove it from said product? You're literally just asking the smokers to go back to smoking and not try to move away from the product that is the number one leading cause of preventable death? Really? Next paragraph. The FDA has not approved e-cigarettes as safe or effective methods to help smokers quit. When smokers are ready to quit, they should call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or talk to their doctors about using one of the 7 FDA approved medications proven to be safe and effective to help smokers quit smoking. Yeah, they're getting funding from Big Pharma. Big surprise there. Actually, a lot of doctors now are suggesting electronic cigarettes to their patients. Not all of them are. Of course, definitely talk to your doctor about anything that affects your health. But yeah, some of those FDA approved medications, the side effects on them are like catastrophic. Okay? And then you have other ones such as the patch and, the lozenges, which have a miserably low success rate. And I'm sure all of us being ex-smokers, we know how easy it is to pick up a phone call and call 1-800-QUIT-NOW and find them telling you, okay, just stop. Because that works, right? Yeah. All right, next paragraph. A study has estimated that there's 250 different e-cigarette brands for sale in the U.S. today, and it's likely to be a wide variation of chemicals that each contain. But initial lab tests conducted by the FDA in 2009, detectable levels of toxic cancer-causing chemicals were found, including ingredients used in antifreeze. In 2 leading brands of e-cigarettes and 18 various cartridges. That is why it's so urgent for the FDA to begin its regulatory oversight of e-cigarettes, which would include ingredient disclosures by e-cigarette manufacturers to the FDA. Okay. Study has estimated that there's over 250 different e-cigarette brands for sale in the U.S. Yeah, that it took a study to come up with that, and there's probably a whole lot more now. Like that pause right there, a new vape shop just opened. You know why? Up there where you said there's no proof, it's working. People are opening new shops because there's a need for it. Okay, so there's likely to be a wide variation in chemicals that each contain. Yeah, they all contain different food flavorings. But initial lab tests conducted by the FDA in 2009, which have been proven to have many fallacies in the test and be flawed in every way, had detectable levels of toxic cancer-causing chemicals. I'm going to go back to this. I've said it before. in certain states, the Surgeon General has issued an advisory that it's hazardous to breathe because you're inhaling cancer-causing particles. Okay, so that being said, yeah. Including ingredients found in antifreeze. I'm not even going to take the normal approach I go with this. Do you know one of the chemicals found in antifreeze is water? I dare you to go through life without consuming any water. Okay? So, in 2 leading brands of e-cigarettes and 18 various cartridges, they're apparently only looking at the cigalikes. That's why it's so urgent for the FDA to begin regulatory oversight of these e-cigarettes, which would include ingredient disclosures by cigarette manufacturers. I'm going to grab a random bottle off of my desk here. Okay. Right there on the side, it tells me what's in there. It says, warning, keep out of the reach of children and pets. Contains nicotine. Must be 18 to use. Contains propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, natural and artificial flavorings, and nicotine. Let me grab a different vendor. Warning, this product may contain nicotine. Keep out of the reach of children and or pets. Ingredients: propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, flavoring, nicotine. How many more bottles do I need to reach for? Really? Come on, guys. We have no problem telling the FDA what's in there. It's propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, nicotine, and flavoring. Alright. Back to the article. Also unknown is what potential harm may be to people exposed to secondhand emissions from electronic cigarettes. 2 initial studies have found formaldehyde, benzene, and tobacco-specific neosinites, a carcinogen, coming from those secondhand emissions. While there's a great deal more to learn about these products, it's clear that that there is much to be concerned about, especially in the absence of the FDA oversight. They're also relying on the FDA stuff that was it was a flawed test. Okay, it was an extremely flawed test. They had outside contaminants, so forth and so on. They're listing stuff that's in the air normally. Since then, there have been many tests that have been run that show there is no risk from secondhand emissions. Yeah, this isn't a cigarette. There's no secondhand smoke. There's no such thing as secondhand vapor. With that being said, this is why the American Lung Association gets the WTF award this week. The American Lung Association, if anything, should be in favor of anything that stops people from smoking. Smoking is the #1 cause of preventable death, okay? If you ask your doctor what the effects of smoking are, it's not a question of if you're going to die because of it. It's a question of when are you going to die because of it. Yeah, I find it very troubling. One of the associations we trust with health and well-being is more wrapped up in, parroting off whatever pharmaceutical companies tell them to say, rather than actually looking into how it will benefit everybody out there. Next week, I'm going to try to have some product for you so that we're not talking about legislation on every weekly what the fuck. But I definitely thought this one had to be covered. It's the American Lung Association. And it's not just them. If you look through, American Cancer Association has similar statements. World Health Organization has similar statements. I wish they could just do what they were intended to do and actually try to help public health. See y'all next week.